Right, well, there's not much around. Let's go ahead and check the thing out.
Yeah, let's head for that.
Okay. You
Onward to
guys
victory.
start heading down the hill, and it takes you about an hour to get down there. You can see you've got probably another 200, 300 yards before you can get to this source. But as you're getting closer to it, it might be because the sun is going down, it kind of mellows out, so you're not seeing as many sparks and flashes, but you can still see movement of a darker blue kind of color. You all start hearing this horrible howling, just screeching coming from your back right as you get down to the bottom of these hills. It's almost carrying on the wind. Just this sound of agony. So where you're standing now, you can see about 200, 300 yards away is still this movement of blue. And then behind you somewhere is just the echoes of this agonizing scream.
We must go back.
Think that could be our thief?
Doesn't matter. It's in trouble. Needs our help.
Well, the voices appear to be carrying on the wind, so the sounds.
Can I try and tell what direction they're coming from?
Yeah.
Could be a discern realities, I guess.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. You can ask your 3 questions.
The pop out for the thing is not. That's it. Okay. What should I be on the lookout for? What is about to happen, and what here is useful?
Okay. You spend some time kind of listening, and this sound appears to kind of echo, almost as if it had been starting in some kind of cave or hole or something. And it seems to be, you could probably pinpoint exactly where it's coming from if you were to walk, if you were to basically turn 90 degrees to your right from the base of this mountain and begin this hill, begin walking. As far as
It'd be this way. Turn 90 degrees.
That's left.
It is? I don't know, it's my right. It doesn't matter. Whatever, so this way then.
Yep.
What here is useful for you? I mean, you're standing at the bottom of the hill. There's not much here. Again, about 200 yards away is this movement of silver and blue. And then your third one was, what should I be on the lookout for?
I think so, yeah. Oh no, I think that was the first one.
Yeah, the echoing.
And then
useful.
One here to be useful, and what is about to happen, I think.
Well, from the sounds of it, a creature's about to die. These are death screams.
We must aid it in death or life. I'm gonna start trudging towards the sound.
Okay. What do the rest of you do? This large booming character starts making his way towards this scream.
Not so much a
Right
run,
behind
but
him.
I'm in a trot. You're a ranger, right?
Yeah?
Can't you send your pet to scout ahead?
I actually don't have a companion.
No companion, you say? This land truly is odd.
No, it's just me.
We'll have to remedy that. But now, onward.
Can't argue with that.
And you all start making your way towards the sound, and it's getting closer and closer. You're within a few, probably 100 yards away from it. And who's in the front? Logar?
Yeah, most likely.
Logar, you're running and you take this step and you hear a crack and the ground breaks from underneath you and you begin falling. Sirach, you're the first to see this large figure just start booming and then he starts to shrink. Your first act, what do you want to do, Sirach?
Well, clearly, he needs help getting out of this hole, whether he falls in it or I can snatch him before he falls in the hole. So I'm going to kind of do something he hasn't seen yet. And because I'm not too far behind him, he can hear
It's not like I
just this
can move a whole lot. I'm
cracking sound, just immense cracks and just pops, and this
Oh no,
kind
I've
of
already
like
broken my
light
legs.
blue light kind of shines from behind him as I go into Goliath.
Absolutely. While you're doing that, though, you start hearing these clicks and breaks and snaps there, Mr. Logar. But you're about to fall into a pit, so what do you want to do?
I'm gonna try and spin and basically jam my sword into the wall and kind of arrest my fall.
All right. You'll be able to hang on, but you're gonna have to drop something. You're just a little too heavy, and your sword is starting to just cut its way through this dirt.
I kind of fling my shield down and grab onto the sword with my other hand.
So Terrace, you see this Goliath like forming in front of you and begin charging towards the hole. Logar has shoved his sword in, and you can see like he still has his shoulders and like one arm still up above, but he's still slowly kind of sinking down. You're seeing his back begin to get covered up. What do you do, Terrace?
I start looking around trying to see if I can either get anything or if there's anyone around that possibly made this, because this doesn't seem like it's a natural occurrence.
Okay. Do your discern realities.
Wisdom, here we go.
What is your question?
What is about to happen?
Oh well, the Goliath is charging over, and you can see as he's running, the ground is kind of bouncing, and there's a spot he's about to step on that appears to not be very solid.
I yell and tell him that there's another trap lying on the ground. Because I can't exactly yell right now.
Sirach, you hear this. You're about 6 feet away from this sinking knight when Terrace yells out, "Watch your feet!" What do you want to do?
I'm quite nimble,
How's it
even though I
going?
am huge.
Are you,
And so I'm basically, my stride is going to be able to clear the hole quite easily and then kind of reach down and pick out the knight from his hole.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and roll Defy Danger Dexterity. The danger being either you end up in a hole or the knight ends up sinking. So you're gonna be able to get over to him and get him out of the hole. But as you bang on the ground, you start to feel the ground shake and tremor under you, Terrace. You look down and you notice that the ground is starting to split beneath your heels.
I try to jump away to safety.
Yeah. Dexterity. Danger being this, you're going for a ride as well.
Oh.
Yeah, you
No.
didn't realize how big this thing is. It cracks open, and this thing's about 10 feet. It just, the ground, the top layer shatters like glass, and you start falling down, and boom, you hit down on the ground, and a spike comes right through you, and you take 1d8 damage.
Ouch. Oh, God. Oh.
You look around as you're down there, and you see that the ground is just this hard stone with stalagmites covering the entire thing. You look up and you see you're about 15 feet deep in the earth. Logar, as you're ripped out of this hole, you probably get turned around and you see the ranger just disappear from sight, and you hear this awful sound of poof. What do you do, Logar?
Hmm. 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 Inside, I'm terrified and basically
Yeah,
yelling
as you
in
look
my
around,
head
you see
because of the
there's a
giant.
hole. You have the giant has like one arm in your hole, and his toes are like dangling into this other huge hole that's opened, and there just appears to be like other small cracks beginning to form all over where you're currently standing.
Can I see through my hole to where Terrace is?
You want to take a look in your hole? Shine a light in there. Yeah, when you look down, you kind of see the same thing. It appears to be like this broken cave system that has a solid stone floor with these stalagmites just all over it. There's quite a few bones of animals down on the bottom, and as you're looking through, the screaming that was carried on the wind goes silent.
Like, can I see Terrace where I'm at?
No,
Is
no.
the question?
From
So
where
they're not
you
connected?
were, there was about probably 15 feet between you and him, and he's just disappeared into this 10-foot wide hole. So, from what you can see down there is some animal bones and a solid stone floor.
All right, Am I out of the pit?
Yeah.
Am I being held above it?
You're out.
I'm gonna dig in my bag and since I have adventuring gear, I'm gonna tie a rope around me and then around the arm of the Goliath and say, "Put me in that hole. We have to save the ranger."
Okay.
Well, it's a good thing I got a throw hold. Whew.
God, don't throw me. You're trying to murder me.
Well, no, it's 15 feet away. That's just a nice little gentle toss for me.
It's not gentle for me.
Yeah, I mean the Goliath is definitely able to hold your weight.
All right, so I'm like flying into the hole, I guess.
Well, no, I'm throwing you to land like at the start of the hole, not like just trying to like.
Well, that's what I
alley-oop
thought.
it.
I was like, he's trying to put me in.
No, sorry, I wasn't very clear.
Okay, well then I'm gonna climb down, and try to get Terrace.
However, I believe with your roll, that's your spent hold.
Ah, crap.
For me,
Mm-hmm.
I have 2, unless you counting one as getting him out of the hole.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, so you start going down on your rope. Terrace, you see this glistening figure start being lowered down, and you get back up and you can see where you are, the walls are fairly solid, but you can see these cracks where there may have been some kind of cave system here. And after a few minutes, Logar is down on the floor with you.
Greetings, Terrace.
Hey, night, sir. Ow. Hey, you dropped your shield down here, didn't you?
the other hole.
I
Yeah,
know,
the other
but
hole.
like he did drop it.
I kind of threw it. I didn't know if it. I think it'd be up to stilts whether I threw it down the hole or I threw it away from the hole.
Oh, it
Doesn't
went down
matter.
the hole. You
Okay,
were in the
that's
hole.
fine.
It dropped in the hole.
Don't worry about my shield. Worry about you first.
I'll be fine for now.
Negative. I'm gonna pull my glove off and put my hand on his arm, and I'm gonna heal him with lay on hands.
Right. Lay on hands.
On a 7 to 9, they're healed, but the damage or disease is transferred to you.
Indeed. So how does that what does that look like as you're, what does your healing energy look like, feel like?
It's kind of it's a warm sensation. There's a slight glowing from where my palm meets his arm, and his wounds just kind of heal. They kind of grow back, kind of like how you see, like Wolverine or something regenerate.
And then what happens to you during this process?
The the wound that he had wherever it was appears on me, and it just kind of it like as it shrinks on him, it grows on me.
Yeah, you start feeling a pretty sharp pain in your sword arm. No, I guess it'd be your shield arm. As this hole begins to form in your back.
Okay.
Terrace, you feel this warm sensation and the pain completely dissolves into nothing. You're both standing at the
Oh,
bottom.
wait. Hold on. I still take 8 damage, but he gets 8 health. Okay, never mind.
All your pain is wiped free from this glistening figure.
Huh. Thank you. Hey, what
You're welcome.
do I actually see the injury coming through his armor? I'm expecting
No,
he's
it
kind of
wouldn't
like
be-
heavily plated.
Yeah, I'm heavy. You wouldn't see it through the armor.
And I doubt
It's
he
there,
probably is
trust me.
showing much pain.
Yeah, it's not. It's a hit, but it's not that bad compared to what it would be on you.
True.
You both stand at the
Thank you.
bottom of this hole and you look up and there's a large looming figure covered in these blue veins staring down at you with a rope tied around his arm. All I
Can you-
want to do.
Can you climb, Terrace?
Uh, probably.
Okay, grab onto the rope.
All right.
And I'm gonna hold on to it as well and yank, giant. We're gonna try and scamper up the wall as he pulls us up.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna hand over hand, just kind of pull the rope up.
Yeah, I mean, but you're carrying probably close to 400 pounds right now, and that's a little bit. So you guys are gonna have to help each other out here, defying danger using either strength for you, Sirach, to be able to pull them up. Okay, and then either dexterity or strength for the other two to scamper up the wall. All right.
It's
So,
obviously
Sirach,
harder for me.
yeah, so, Terrace is able to scamper up the wall with no issue at all. However, the weight of the knight is kind of bearing down on your arms, Sirach. So you can either spend your final hold to yank him up out of the hole, or you can take a little damage as the rope burn begins to dig into your arms.
I'll take the damage.
Okay, so 1d4 damage. Mr. Paladin, you feel a very deep strain in your shoulder as you're climbing up. So you can either decide to lose another item or take a little more damage as the the strain of pulling yourself up this rope is really tearing at your shoulder. You'll be able to get out of the hole though.
I'll take a little bit more damage.
Okay, you take 1d4 as well as you make your way up the rope.
Does that go through armor?
Yeah, I mean, this is ripping the wound itself. You have an open
God
wound
damn.
on
What is
your
with
back
the shit rolls?
that is splitting. But you all finally get to the top, and you look around, Terrace, you're the first one up, and you just see the ground around you is covered in these just pock marks. These broken pits from what appears to be an old tunnel system or something that just broke up the ground here, and occasionally it appears the frost and just rains cause the grounds to cover over, and then as you would assume, you make your way over to the pits and you see these bones. It's pretty clear that a lot of animals die here. You guys are all on the surface here. There's probably a good 50-60 yards of these just random holes around you, and behind you, about 400 yards away, you still see the movement of this blue thing. What do you all wish to do?
All I know is I have to retrieve my shield at some point.
Maybe I could go get it. I mean, you came down to rescue me. You healed me. You've done a lot. And I saw you down there. You didn't look so good getting up here. So
I
let me
can't
go
ask
get
you
your
to do
shield.
that.
So you guys make your way over to the hole he was in, and you look down, and you can see this shiny shield laying about 15 feet down this hole.
I'm just gonna, dangle the rope down into the hole from off of my arm.
Sounds good.
Like,
In order, if you want to do this safely, I'll say you can just use your last hold to do so, or you can defy danger strength again to get up and down safely. Both of you.
who's going? Is the question.
The set is going. I just threw the rope down there so he can easily climb down and climb out.
Yeah, sure. I'll
So,
defy danger. I don't mind.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, both of you roll strength. Danger being
Oh, do you want strength? Sorry. Should I reroll then?
no, you can use dexterity. You'll have a choice to make as well. As you're down at the hole, you can see that there appears to be these like scratch marks, as if something was down here before, maybe moving around a lot. But they are almost like these waves across the wall. As you pick up the shield and begin going up to the surface, you start to feel a strain on the rope. And eventually you get up to the surface, but you hear a crack beginning to form off, and all of these just kind of small explosions go off, and the rest of these holes kind of pop through. The ground underneath you is just starting to tremble with movement as you guys are all standing here. It feels like the entire area might collapse within seconds.
Oh, jeez. Ah, jeez. We need to move.
Don't need to tell me twice.
Pick a direction and run.
Toward the hills.
Back the way we came.
Yep.
Away.
As you're going through, just these explosions of dirt and frost are popping up as these other just fractures in the earth are opening all around you. You end up getting back up to the hill. You're standing on the edge of it, and you're looking out, and you just see this huge field of just broken holes and cracks. And then in the distance down from the hill, you still see this movement of of blue. It's moving more ferociously now, like almost if the wind had picked up on water. You all make it back there. By the time you get back to the hills, though, the sun has now set, and the moon has just begun to rise.
I think we should set camp for the night. Continue in the morning.
Yeah, camp sounds good.
I will
Alright.
take watch.
So, making camp. Who will be managing the provisions for today?
I can do it.
Okay. That is a wisdom roll.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
The food is exceptionally good for you two.
Exactly. So for that, you actually get to pick either careful management reduces the amount of rations consumed, or the party consumes the expected amount of food you prepare. The food you prepare is excellent. Describe it, and everyone who licks their lips takes +1 forward.
I actually have a problem though. I'm out of rations. I don't know what happens in this case.
Yeah, have mine.
Thank you.
If you were out of rations and nobody else had any to give, you would receive a debility.
Okay.
I don't have a need to eat.
I don't think Sirach does either.
Yep, that's the funny thing. I cooked this awesome meal, and then only Seta eats it.
So which one are you picking there, Faison? Reducing the amount of rations consumed, or +1 forward for everyone who...
If he reduces the
Eats
amount
it.
of rations, do I get to keep the ration since there was only one consumed?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good question.
Yeah, I would allow that.
Huh? I guess
there you go.
that makes sense. He was out of food, and we just kind of like scrambled together a little bit of ours.
Yeah.
I threw in
Okay.
some berries that I had from the forest, and
I had some jerky.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, the night
Fantastic.
begins to settle. You guys, Terrace, I think you find making a campfire is so much easier than the last time you had to do it. Within just a few minutes, you have a nice, strong fire. And you all head into the night. So who's taking watch?
I will take the watch. The other two can sleep all night.
Yeah, the night begins to grow by. It's very quiet except for the faint crashing of waves that appears to carry on the wind. And you don't hear much in the sound of insects or anything like that. You do occasionally hear what appears to be like maybe galloping or some kind of animal beckoning on the winds as well. And after a point when the fire has died down, the sky has been covered in this overcast kind of shadow. You notice light far off in the distance, just a very, very dim light coming from the center of the plains. Far further from where this blue color you'd seen, or from where these dirt holes were. Not as far as where you would remember the marshland being, but it's very
Somewhere in
dim.
here. I think
And as the go ahead.
I was going to wake the shapeshifter and see if he sees the same thing, and if so, maybe he can check it out. He seems to have magical powers. Maybe this is inside of his wheelhouse.
Well, Sirach,
Well,
you're
I mean-
awoken.
Yeah. I I'm gonna, you know, kind of blow his mind here and actually start shrinking down into a hawk. Just start feathers just start sprouting out from my arms and
Aha, the little one got littler. Kind of clap my hands.
Hmm.
This land is full of wonders. Oh, but he still has one leg. It's very deformed.
I didn't fail the roll.
No. Yeah, you're able to turn into this hawk. How fast are you able to fly?
Well, I was more just gonna kind of like fly up to the top of a tree and kind of use the
There's
improved
really no.
vision to.
Yeah, there's no trees. It's a
The
plain.
closest trees are going to be behind you in the barrier of blue. There's a few like small fruit trees, but they're again
Yeah,
just
that's
tiny specks.
it's. I guess I mean we're on a hill, so it's high enough up that I have a clear line of sight to it. So just that improved vision to kind of get a little bit closer of a look.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say that's one of your holds then, like Eagle Eye, and then I think the other one was carry, like pick up and carry your talons.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to see there's definitely a very dim flickering light. It's a ways out there. The only reason you're able to see it is because it's so dark right now. It's not as far as the bogs or the marshes that you saw, but it's quite a few miles away from where you are now. It's just a light orange flickering, kind of like when you
No, they
see
kinda-
that just that one speck of light on a mountain. It kind of looks like that just out in the middle of this field.
I'm gonna kind of just keep an eye on it for a little while and see if it's moving at all.
Yeah, you watch it for a few hours. I'm assuming that Logar probably goes to sleep at this point as you stay and
Don't need
watch
to
it.
sleep. I don't need food or sleep
Okay.
or drink.
Well, I mean, you can take a little nap. real
relaxes.
quick. You just kind of doze.
Yeah,
off a little bit and then come back.
I've got my shield and sword just kind of, my sword's in the ground and the shield's just leaning against the rock. I'm just kind of sitting there.
You see the light gets dim, but it doesn't appear to move as the sun begins to cause the light to creep over the horizon. The orange flickering light begins to dim, but it doesn't move.
I'll just kind of take note of its position and we can kind of head that way in the morning.
Yeah, from where you're at now at the hills, it's a little bit to your front right. If you were to go like front and then right, it'd be kind of in the middle-ish area, like a 45-degree direction from the hills that you're standing on now. And it seems to be fairly far out there. A good probably 18, 20 miles, something like that. You all wake up in the morning, the sun begins to rise, but the day is gloomy and cold. You look back down and you can see that some of the smaller fractures have been recovered in frost, and so the complete broken ground that was there before doesn't look as broken, but some of the bigger spots are still definitely there. The movement of blue that's down at the bottom of this hill has kind of calmed down. Like you can still see some flickers of silver and blue up from it. And you look out to see, okay, what was I looking at? And you can't really see anything. It just looks like an empty field, but there are a few trees, and it's hard to tell if there might be something there or not. It's just so far away. Who knows? So what do you all wish to do?
I say we head to the lake and then onward, or whatever the thing is, whether it's a lake or whatever, and then see if we can
Yep.
go towards the fire or light or beacon or whatever.
head down and check out this mysterious blue stuff.
Okay. And you start
I'm
heading
gonna
down.
revert.
You're still in bird form?
No, I'm gonna go ahead and revert when we, as soon as the kind of light comes up, I just kind of shift back.
So, kind of off topic here. Does that make Phazon Setta's pet right now?
No.
Like,
No.
is he the animal companion until he gets one?
No.
Jeez.
No. Doesn't work that way. You guys get within a few hundred yards, and it looks strange. Like, you can definitely see there appears to be water, but it's not water. You're about 100 yards away from this pocket of blue. I want to do.
Am I close enough to fling a rock into it?
Can you throw a rock as farther than a football field?
I don't know. That's the question.
Sure, you can try.
Let's give it a fling. Nope. Hey, my first experience point.
Your shoulder is still
Nice.
a lot of pain. In fact, you reopen the wound and take another d4 damage.
I watched it before. Yep.
Jesus. Wow.
Okay, I'm almost dead. Good adventure.
These damage dice, man, they hate us tonight.
Yeah, Terrace, you see that whatever this is, like, as you're looking down, you have this, some, grass, maybe up to your shins, kind of covered in frost going out in front of you. And past that, you just see this swaying of this light blue color. And it doesn't look like water, but it moves in the shape of water.
Guys,
all
I'm
want to do?
really not trusting this. I think we should just leave this stuff alone. It seems almost unnatural.
I agree.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just take a little detour around it.
So where you're standing now, to your right, you can see the cracked earth. Before you stands this lake. To your left is more plains that appear to go down to a beach. Then you see the ocean. Want to do?
We go in the
Head
general
towards the
direction
plains.
of the fire area that we saw.
The water stands, or whatever this is, stands between you and where you think that is.
Well, yeah, we have to go around.
Which way do you go around?
Towards the plains.
Towards the ocean, or
This way?
Towards the ocean, yeah.
Yeah,
This way.
this way.
as you guys are walking past this, you kind of spot a few skeletons. They are crushed, so it's unclear what kind of creature it was. But they're shards of bones kind of scattered all through this area as you make your way through. Once you get on the other side, you see a few trees, but a few miles away, you can see these shapes, these kind of triangles on the horizon.
We have
Appears to
time
be
for
to
a
your
break?
front right. Good. A few miles away.
Well,
Oh,
let's go this way towards the mysterious light.
might as well.
As you start making your way through, you've walked a few miles, and Terrace, you start to notice these flashes of what appears to be like black smoke kind of appear in front of you and just pop and pop, 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 and appears to be coming towards you.
Guys, we should probably get ready for a fight.
All right, shield up, sword out.
Yeah,
I,
they're
I whip out my sword real quick.
flickering and flickering and flickering and flickering, and then they burst into this shape. It's this tall humanoid with a very like football like head, and it's covered in this long rainbow colored hood, has this long black flowing cape, and all of its appendages, its arms are way too long. Think Slender Man. You're staring at that wearing a
Hey,
hood.
Arnold, man.
It stands there looking at you, kind of just swaying. It stands about 8 feet tall.
I've got my shield in my right arm, and I'd raise my sword and basically say, "State your intentions."
Trespass on our home. Who are you? What is your intention?
Seek a horse thief.
You seek in the wrong way. Do you not know where you are?
No.
You stand on the land of the Kahari. This is our land. Do not bother others. Others do not bother us. State your intentions or leave.
We wish only to pass.
Why is it that you're making way towards our home?
We saw a light in the night, and we are heading towards it.
Where do you come from?
Oh boy. Wait. I have an answer for this. I come from Krishaw, a temple to the east.
Where do you reside on this land?
Back in the floating city.
What proof do you have of this? Those from the city of Corazon Mundo are welcome here, but too many claim to be from the floating city. Or not.
Gentlemen,
Oh, I don't think I have any proof. I mean, I don't own land. I don't.
What is wrong with this one? And it points at Sirach. This one
I
feels
wondered
more
that
powerful than it appears. What do you bring into our home? Who is he?
I have no idea. He appears to be tied to nature.
Do you not have words of your own, little one? Who are you?
Well, it would be easier to show you, but I fear invoking rage from you.
You speak in riddles I do not understand.
How do you spell their name?
Kohari. Korhari.
Well, do you
Like
wish
that?
to see?
You clearly have more power than you represent in your small figure. I just want to know who you are and what your intentions are at our home.
I am Sarak from the island of Konmotos. And in the city, there was a merchant who had had his horse stolen and told us of a bounty from a city to the south of Corzo Mundo. And we are out here trying to locate him.
Yes. Your friends have told me the same. I want to know why it is that your skin glows blue. We not fond of the color blue.
He's some kind of shapeshifter.
That would be correct. I can turn into many different forms. And the blue is merely a byproduct of my land.
It begins to shrink down and poofs back into smoke. When it reappears, it's a darkened mirror image of Sirach. You're not the only one with these powers. It does not explain why it is that you have this power beyond that. It is clear you're not just a shapeshifter. Who are you, and what are you doing here? I will not ask again.
Well, as far as the additional power you're referring to, it has to do with the god of nature. I am linked to it, and it is linked to me.
You are not Ghost. Why do you lie?
That's true.
Yeah, he's not lying.
Silence you!
Earlier.
Do not have the power to speak here. I'm speaking with your more important friend. You say you are linked to the god. The god has been dead. We have spoken to the Ghost. They have not told us many things for many months. Why do you lie?
Is there any? I want to look around for any like small trees or like shrubs.
Yeah, there's a few just standard plains bushes around. They're kind of withered and brown.
Logar, would you be so kind as to trim the grass?
Sure. I'll cut one of the bushes down. Or at least cut a chunk out of it.
Yeah, he reemerges kind of back in his normal shape as you draw your sword again. He's watching you. So you cut down a bush. Roll your damage there, Logar. What does this show us?
Well, I was hoping that you could feel the pain I felt when he cut the bush.
You again speak in riddles I do not understand.
I am linked to nature. When he harmed it, I can feel it. And since you could sense my power, I was hoping you could also sense that connection.
Why not just make it grow? Logar obviously has no idea what kind of powers you have. Grow the bush.
If what you say is true, we will be able to find out. Come with me. And he begins kind of floating towards this city, or small encampment in the distance. He darts ahead once you guys get within a few, probably about 10-20 yards, and what you guys see are a whole bunch of these tents. They're not made out of normal canvas. They seem to be very smooth, and all of them have these very vibrant colors on them. There's a few other of these strange creatures wandering around, a few smaller ones, but they all have super long arms and legs. There's some of them that are wearing these robes, again, just these amazing colors. All of them seem to be very smooth, very silk-like. And as he comes back out, this other figure appears, and it's kind of hunched over, and it has these long, cracked fingers that appear to be just kind of formed with arthritis. And you kind of can look under the hood, and you see these bright white eyes, and it's staring at you, Sirach. So you are the one that claims to be linked to the god, yes?
Yes.
Come here. It does these quick movements with its arms, and 4 of these other creatures come and stand between Sirach and Terrace and Logar. You have these 4 6 to 8 foot tall, strange looking creatures standing. So Sirach, you have this old creature standing in front of you, and it reaches out its hand to grasp the top of your head. Do anything?
No, I think I'll allow it.
You feel pressure on your temples as he kind of puts his fingernails into it, and then with a loud gasp, his head gets thrown back, kind of starts to shake a little bit, and releases you. He says it's true. This is good news, friends. Yes, the spiders will breed again. This is good news after all. Let them pass. Let them pass. The 4 that were standing in front of you, Logar and Terrace, disappear, and this older creature begins to kind of usher you into their camp. As you guys enter in, it seems to be a very fairly small tribe of these strange creatures. Everything, all the fabric here is this silk-like fabric where it's very smooth, but it also appears to keep things like frost and snow off. It appears to be waterproof. I mean, he brings you inside of his tent, which is a large master tent. Inside, there's a few more of these smaller creatures moving around, and he says, "Please sit and tell me who you are."
Is he addressing the others?
Yeah. He kind of crouches down and kind of floating there. You can see these limbs kind of crossed and just kind of resting. The floor is covered in, silk pillows and throw rugs, and there's a few animal skins throughout.
I give a bow and say, I'm Logar, Knight Paladin of the Lost. It's a pleasure to meet you and your people.
Yes. The companion of this one here is welcome. We are the Kohari. Very few are allowed into our city. As you see, we are the protectors of a very special resource that is very important throughout this land. You do have to forgive the ones that you met before. Their job and their only job is to protect those that live in the city. So if they appear to be abrupt, or perhaps a little too forward, it is simply their duty. So tell me, friends, what is it that the Kohari can do for you?
Well, we're after this horse thief. He was apparently in this direction. We're not entirely sure where, though.
I've not heard of any thieves coming through our town. None of my scouts have reported anything to me.
Did we get a description of the horse?
You know that it's won some awards and stuff. It's fairly
Do we know
famous.
what it looks like?
Yeah, it's a primarily white horse, but it has some brown spots over its eyes. It's called Lightning.
I'm gonna describe the horse to the ghost figure. Say, we seek this horse and the man who stole it. Have you seen the horse at least?
Actually, yes, that is Sir Hermione's horse.
Yes. The man has stolen it. someone.
Then there would only be one place that they might be. Afraid that yet whoever gave you these directions may not have been as clear as they should have been. There is another city, but it's a ways away. It's further southwest than we are here. The city is a bad, bad place, though, run by the most villainous, wretched of them all. If I was a horse thief, wanted to get rid of said horse, that is where I would go. But it's a very long journey from here if you were to walk. Talking weeks.
Rohan has another city?
Rohan, I have heard this name whispered upon the winds.
I too have heard it. Many a man fleeing east upon the boats instead of his cruelty and his lack of care of his men.
Yes, it's quite. This city rests on a lake to the southwest here. A very large lake that sits in the middle of a much larger plains like us, but to get there you will have to cross a very large mountain range, a thick forest, and some desert. I would recommend heading back north to find that trail with the footprints. You follow that trail to the west, you will find yourself at the crater where the floating city once rested. There's a river that flows south from that crater, and that river leads to the lake. This city rests at the southeast portion of that lake.
Well, gentlemen, what do you think?
Well, it seems like we don't have much of a choice.
I do hope that you aren't planning to go while walking. I would recommend taking another horse. As I said, the journey alone from one city, from the floating city to where it once was, has taken many weeks to do on foot.
Yeah.
I don't own a horse.
We have no need of horses here.
Well,
Well,
gentlemen.
Personally, I would be interested in maybe acquiring some of this material your tents are made out of to fashion myself some better clothing, as my leathers have become quite worn and destroyed over the year.
The silks of Goshmora are not for just anyone. I'll tell you this, though. There's a creature that lives not too far from here, one that has ravished our land with destruction, death. If you were to defeat it, I will supply you with much of this silk as I possibly can.
Sounds
have
like
no
a fair
choice.
trade.
Be warned, this creature has killed many of my assassins. Not one to be taken lightly, but if you are up to the challenge, simply return back to the faux flowers. Yes, do not be tricked by the blue. Those are simply flowers. It is the home of this creature. Turn there. It will surely make its presence known within no time.
So pretty much back where we came from.
Before you leave, I must offer you this, though. If you are willing to take this challenge, you must do it fully prepared. Please, take some of this, and he offers you all some tea.
Hey. I remove my
Yeah.
helmet. Yeah.
It smells fairly, it smells very leafy, but also has kind of a rosy, sweet smell to it. It tastes very much like a green tea. As you drink it, you all start to feel a warmth in your bellies and receive 1d10 healing if you are damaged at all.
Thanks. Shit.
Oh,
Can I pass on? Can I?
wow.
I have quite a surplus of heal there. Is that gonna like?
It's probably.
Can I basically just kind of lay my hand on him and kind of hope to transfer it through?
Unfortunately, it's an internal healing process.
Wow, looks like Logar's only going on one adventure.
Well, you guys have a decision to make. He offers you a place to stay for the night to regain your rest, all of that. Or you can head out now back to...
Would be better to go earlier in the day.
Yeah, right now
Okay.
it's midday.
You never
I
want to
think-
turn down hospitality.
Rest would be nice.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. We can kind of help out around camp or make camp just outside of theirs if they prefer, and just
No,
kind of
they
rest for the day.
he calls in a few of his underlings, and they escort you over to one of these tents. Down in the bottom of the tent is covered with some furs and stuff, and they have some basic kind of like throw pillows and all that. There's a few more glasses of this tea, and they've laid out what appears to be just a standard like hunter's food source of some meat and berries and fruits and all that for you guys to eat. And so you guys spend the night there, and we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break so I can go get some water. And when we come back, I guess you guys will face what is needed to be facing.